for what could have happened at one point, not bad. So
Right.
we've done relatively well to get to where we're at. So
Yeah, we have found that in most of the markets that
all, my name is Dan. I am the NOCO HBA chairman for 2020. And we have Robert August and Jeff Wilson on our program today. Between these two fellas and Peter, their other partner, who unfortunately isn't with us today on this call, they've got over 100 years experience. They've worked with over 536 different developers and builder entities that they've engaged in business with. They've obviously worked with manufacturers, vendors, subcontractors, all those sorts of different things, including our uh, NAHB. And one of the notes that I found very interesting, the value of their experience is about $34 billion. So these guys know a lot about business and how to get things done. So I'm not going to take much more time. I'm going to let these guys take over. And thank you both for being here. We really appreciate it.
great. Dan, thank you so much, and thank you, Nikki and Dolce, for helping to organize this and bring everybody together. Uh, we appreciate everybody who's been able to join us today. I'm sure as we're talking, some other people will be signing on because everybody's busy. And with the current situation of COVID, it just adds to everybody's challenges and to stress. And that's why we work so hard to spend time and create and distill the 10 best solutions that apply to virtually every business. So whether you are a builder, a developer, a contractor, a plumber, in marketing, in insurance, what we're going to be sharing with you today has immediate applicability. And as we were talking to Dan before we got started, is it's not about you having to spend a lot more money. It's not just about this being an educational webinar. The goal here is for everyone on this call to take specific actions. And it's those specific actions uh, in your business will help you to solve your biggest challenges. And they can literally transform what may be your biggest challenges today into your biggest strengths. So the key is for everyone who is attending today to actually take action. And it may be doing something different. It may be doing something totally new, or it may be going back to doing something and say, hey, we used to do that. Why'd we stop? And if this can help, can encourage you to do any of those things by taking a specific action, we will have accomplished our goals. So when this webinar is completed, Dolce will be sending an action plan to all the attendees. And what you'll do is use that action plan to go through the 10 topics we're going to talk about, your biggest learnings in each, and come up with 3 recommendations total, 3 actions that you're going to take in the next 6 weeks and work on them, one a week for 3 weeks, and then one a week again for the next 3 weeks. And I can guarantee you that that will have a transformational impact on your business. Any one of these ideas could grow your business by 10, 20, even 50%. You do 3 of them, it could be phenomenal. So when Robert and I are completed with our presentation, and we'll be just a little bit over an hour, it'll be a little after 1 o'clock, we're going to have an open Q&A session for any questions that you might have, whether it be about what we shared or about your involvement with your association or the NAHB. Uh, but let me be really clear who you're going to hear now. I want to introduce Robert August. Robert August is truly a giant and a legend in the home building industry, having been involved both in Colorado, nationally, internationally, in projects, as we said, in the $34 billion of value. Uh, that is absolutely amazing. Not only that, but Robert is an unapologetic advocate for the Home Builders Association, the National Association of Home Builders, because it's been so instrumental for him. He is the #1 spike leader, I think, not just for this year or the last 10 years, but probably forever. So I'm going to turn over the presentation to Robert to talk about sales, marketing, and really what his strengths are.
Thank you very much. And we're very fortunate to have Jeff participating with us today. Jeff is a leader in business development, business management, operations management, and has done a yeoman's job over the years. Over 3,000 corporations have been benefited directly through Jeff's outstanding capabilities, and has helped businesses grow. A lot of times, you know, you might feel that a consultant has to take on a long-term role. What our job is to help you dust off, old plans, new plans, help you relaunch, get started, and move on to a better opportunity. We work ourselves out of opportunities every day and into new ones. But I think as you start to understand what we have to offer, you're going to take away over 100 tips that can make a difference for you in your business practice today. And hopefully today, you'll start implementing these programs and make a difference. Before I jump in, I also want to say thank you again to Nikki and Dulce. You've got a great staff leading the association, and you're growing your platform of members, and get everybody involved. You have 350 companies, and if you have 5,000 employees, get them all involved in the association. So let's jump in and reevaluate your marketing plan and sales plan. Research is critically important. You need to know where you are today. You need to know where you've come from, where you are today, and where you're going tomorrow. And you need to be able to study your competition. You're only as good as the last sale you made. And you don't want to necessarily hear that, but it's reality. People don't want to know everything that you've done. They want to know what you're doing today and why you're a leader in your business platform. So we want to learn. So as Jeff earlier said, if you're in the plumbing institution or insurance, learn about the other products and services that are being offered in your world. Take the time, if you're a builder or developer, take the time to get out and look at your competition. Understand what products and services are being offered now, what new ones are coming on board so that you can use that. But research is very, very helpful. You also want to do an exit survey with each of your customers that you're working with in order to plan for today and tomorrow. Another important aspect is research and design. We need to make sure that we're designing the best product, we're bringing the best product. People don't want stale product. They want something that's new. They want something, they don't always want to be the pioneer, but they want to get out there and use a company, work with a company that's state of the art and is working on a regular basis to improve the product. A lot of times in smaller markets, we tend to do what we keep on doing. And when you do the same thing you've done in the past, you get the same results. On the other hand, as Wayne Dyer says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change. As a result, designing a new product is very, very critical. We've been trained by Madison Avenue since World War II that we need to evolve and create new products and services yearly. So we need to design. We need to take those and brand those products and services. All of you that are here today, may not realize, but your logos are extremely important. Yes, your company logo is important. When it's time to make a change, make the change. Don't just use the same logo over and over and over. Make sure that you're changing that logo so that you can update yourself and update your slogan. You may not change that logo, but you may change a slogan and make a difference with your unique selling proposition and marketing proposition. We want you to use your HBA of Northern Colorado logo on your business cards, on your website, in your advertisement. It says to the consumer and to the business public that you're a member of the community. You're making a difference within the community. We want you to use the state logo, the Colorado Association of Home Builders logo, and the National Association of Home Builders logo. Do you realize that there's over 140,000 companies that are participating through NAHB? There's over 10 million employees that are helping us all grow and learn our business better. So we want to use those designations and those logos. We also want to jump in and where we're builders and developers, the codes in Colorado, the building codes are much more strict than almost anywhere else in the country other than California. And all of you are compliant with the EPA's Energy Star, Indoor Air Plus, and Water Sense. And those logos can also be integrated into your marketing materials. So when you brand, you want to make a difference. We want you to think about packaging your company and making sure that you're going to make a difference in relationship to your overall program. We want to make sure that you look and feel correct all the time. I grew up in the wine and spirits business, and our product was solid. Company was in business since 1891, almost 100 years. And what we found over and over and over again is that our packaging set us apart from everybody that we worked with. We always wanted to make sure that our labels, our bottles, everything that we packaged and promoted was incomparable. It was phenomenal. So that people would see our product amidst others and want to gravitate to ours because of the unique design and the outstanding packaging. Production is extremely important, and when you think about the production, you need to take awareness of how you're bringing it all together. Your website is your most important attribute of your marketing plan today, outside of you personally. Your website is an electronic brochure. One of the things that we have found over and over and over again, your website needs to be updated on a regular basis. You need to make sure that the pricing is correct when you're sharing a product for sale. You need to make sure that you have a disclaimer. The prices may change without notice, so that you're not locked into an older price that could be a newer price. But the look and feel, it has to be understated elegance. It's got to look and feel like you're working with a company that's been in business forever, and you want to put your trust and respect into that company the same way that you as a company want to put that respect into your customers. Advertising is critical. A lot of people say, well, print's out, digital's the only way. We found out over and over and over through a number of studies that all advertising is extremely important, whether it's print, whether it's digital, whether it's television, whether it's radio, it all has a bearing. Cost of advertising in Northern Colorado is a lot less expensive because you can definitively target your market within your trading area. And if you're just going after business in Fort Collins, you've got one market to go after. If you're going for business in certainly Greeley or Windsor, you've got other trading areas that you can create a wonderful program. Promotions are very, very critical for all of us because it gets us in front of consumers. Advertising is designed to generate qualified leads. Promotion is designed to generate qualified leads and close a product. We're not together, we are together with a promotion, face-to-face, people-to-people. People have said to me that the three most important ingredients in real estate are location, location, location. I defy that. I think it's secondary or tertiary. The three most important ingredients in real estate and any business is contact, contact, contact. Nothing happens without people getting together with people. You need to service your customers. You need to take the time with all the things that we're talking about, take the time to make sure that your customers are satisfied. We know that nirvana is 100% satisfaction. Will we ever get there? We'll work on it. But at the same time, we want you to make sure that you can go back to those customers day in and day out forever. Spoke to Dan earlier, been in business since 2006, has hundreds and hundreds of customers, thousands of customers. And if those folks are satisfied, guess what? They will not only bring you referrals, but they will ask for new opportunities to work with you again. So customer service is a key selling tool in order to stay in front of your buyers. So all of those things as we relate to that program are going to make a difference. And as we move along through customer service, we know that if we take care of the customers will take care of us with referrals. They'll take care of us with wonderful third-party testimonials. Now, what we would also like you to do is surround yourself with a mastermind of bright, intelligent people who can add value to you. When we create a professional group of folks, what we want to do is realize that these people are mentors to us. A lot of times people will take the time and help and mentor you. And as a result, you want to reach out into the marketplace. You want to use your home builders association and other trade associations to find key people in the marketplace that you can surround yourself and create your own group of professionals that can mentor and guide you along with your team. And the more that you do that, that's going to make a difference. So as a collaborator, we want you to think about that. We also want you to think about your existing customer base and how that group can work with you. We want you to think about your past customers from years ago and going back to those people and helping you grow your business and developing new prospects and earning new referrals and new opportunities to grow your business. We want you to create that network of business professionals. And I've learned over the years, your accountants, your attorneys, your creative teams, your consultants, you want to hire the best. When you hire the best, you get better results. Somerset Maugham teaches us that mediocre people are always at their best. We don't want to deal with mediocrity. We want to deal with excellence because those people will help us increase our business more directly and more quickly so that we'll increase our cash flow and increase our profits. So we want to review our successes. We want to take the time. We also want to review our failures. Rudyard Kipling teaches us that success is basically failure turned inside out. It's paying attention. Why did we succeed? Why did we fail? How can we improve upon what we succeeded? How can we improve upon our failures? We want you to take a moment also and take the time within each sale that you put together. Do a little 3x5 card or a little program in your CRM program, your customer relations management file. And we want you to take the time to write a mini case study on every transaction that you've created. And what we want you to do is write what was the intent, what was the plan of action, and what were the results. And we want you to file those according to the type of work that you did, and then go back and study those so that you can improve upon your program. One of the key things that I will share with you, when you lose a sale, and it will happen if it hasn't happened to you yet, but we want you to go back and do an exit survey. Find out why the customer chose to go somewhere else. And our friend Jeff is going to speak about pricing shortly. People will tell you price is the key reason that they buy you. It's not. It's usually a tertiary reason at the end of the day. It's more about all the other intricate points that we're talking about. So we want you to debrief. We want you to revise your plan of action. A 5-year plan of action that we'd like you to put together is nothing really more than a 3-month active plan because we want you to revise it. We want you to use what works and improve upon that. We want you to eliminate the negative. We want you to move forward positively and think of all the ways that you can move forward. And then we want you to execute and constantly reevaluate that plan of action. And as you do that, you'll also be able to get more succinct with your direct plan. Instead of having a plan that's out here, you're going to be able to define it and make that plan tailored to your specific needs right now. And you need to pay attention and you need to honor yourself and execute the plan and evaluate the plan and share that with your employee base so that everybody's working together. And that's why when we work with all of our employees, we have to define, we have to get everybody in a room. And you might say, oh, I have 3 or 4 unique selling and marketing propositions. I've got to tell you that when I sit down with our staff, we'll usually come up with anywhere between 100 and 200 ideas that make us different, or that are resounding points. Are we trustworthy? Are we respectful? Are we considerate? Are we always on the cutting edge in developing new product and service? Are we trying to improve upon what we have done in the past in order to create a new opportunity? None of us should ever do what we did yesterday because it was okay. We should always try to improve upon that so that we can be on the forefront of preparing the opportunity. By having unique marketing and selling propositions, it can also help us define our marketing plan much better, because we can use that as a way to promote ourselves through advertising, public relations, and promotion. You need to create an elevator speech. Everybody in the company has to have a unique elevator speech. It could be 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 2 minutes, to explain in a succinct form who you are, what you're accomplishing, and how you can make a difference for the people with whom you're speaking. It's great. Hopefully within the next couple of months, we'll be back on board having meetings, and Nikki and Dulcie will be very, very busy, having you come back to the ranch and enjoying a get together. And when you do, you want to reach out to everyone and make a difference. So the elevator speech will be important so that you can share that information. We also want to grow into team meetings. We want to have the opportunity to not only work with the team, Zoom and Skype and the Microsoft programs have been great to get us all together. And even the format that we have today is giving us an opportunity to exchange ideas with one another. So if we physically can't be in the same room, we are really in the same room together. And you need to meet, you need to make sure that you're covering all the policies and procedures. And when we typically do in our meetings from a sales perspective, we'll have a team meeting with the whole group. Then we'll break it down. If we have different branches around the metro area, we'll go to those different branches and work one-on-one with that group. And then we'll even work separately in those team meetings with the individuals in order to help them refine their program. So it's a constant training process. It's not done on a monthly or a bi-monthly basis. It's done every single week. The more that you
Robert, could I ask you to maybe share with everyone 2 elevator speeches, one as you would give for your own business, and one that you might give for the Home Builders Association?
North Star Synergies is a marketing, management, and sales consultation helping builders, developers, manufacturers, vendors, lenders, real estate brokers throughout Colorado, United States, and internationally. We were established in 1983 with our sister company, S. Robert August and Company, and have created billions of dollars of marketing and sales opportunities for businesses to increase their cash flow and their profits today, tomorrow, and forever. So that's one. The second one, I'm sorry, Jeff, what's the second one?
For the HBA and the National Home Builders Association.
I'll do Northern Colorado. As a member of the Northern Colorado Home Builders Association, which was established, I believe, in 1943, that's 77 years of excellence that our trade association has been bringing advocacy, government affairs, networking benefits, and very much important educational programs for all of us to network together and to grow our businesses. The fundamental aspect of our trade association is to network together within our industry, within our construction industry, in order to create a more united front, in order to help all of our members grow their businesses profitably so that we can live, work, and play together in the outstanding Northern Colorado arena.
Great, thanks.
So, and this is all impromptu, but I think that the point is that within each of these, it's critically important. We want you to role play. when you can role play with your peers, that's the most difficult and challenging sale that you'll ever make. The more that you can role play and create a convincement factor with regard to your presentations, you will be able to handle any buyer, any customer. I spent 2 years in customer service with the largest home building company in the world, and we actually sent out kits to everyone so they could build an exterior and build an interior. And we dealt with misshipments, damages, and shortages. We found that handling negativity was an amazing program. But even in the customer service department, we role played with each other because nobody ever called us in the 2 years that I was with the company because they were happy campers. They all called with complaints. And we learned how to handle negativity and spin it into a positive direction of success. Role playing is key. If you can sell your peers, you can sell anyone. So then we want you to read as much as you can. We want you to read. We want you to read David Baldacci's latest novel. We want you to read John Grisham. We want you to read The Rainmaker by Jeffrey Hill. We want you to read different books. The more you read, the more you can articulate. I'm reading an absolutely phenomenal book right now called Healthy Buildings by Allen and McCumber. And these two authors are great, and it's giving me more insight so I can be much more articulate to discuss the healthy housing industry, the healthy building and construction industry. I can articulate better as a result of reading. The next point I'd want you to know is also the more you evaluate, the stronger your performance will be, because you'll be able to recognize how to improve upon your performance in order to make your performance the best performance every day. And so with these points, I think it's very, very important to also use surveys, conduct surveys. But again, as I shared with you before, debrief, evaluate, revamp, restart, rejuvenate, and get out there into the marketplace and make a difference. And now we're going to learn more from the esteemed Jeff Wilson as to how to really prepare and take advantage of our operations and our customer base in order to grow our business platform.
Robert, thank you so much. That was fabulous, covered so much. Hope everybody's taking notes and paying careful attention. There's a lot of gold there, and thank you for playing along with that impromptu elevator speech. But it's just an opportunity for everyone to learn. These are the things that you need to have in your business, and you need to be able to do it so that instead of having to spend a lot of money to grow your business, you can use the assets that you already have and just use them better. And probably one of the most important assets you have are existing clients. And that's anyone who has paid you money for any product or service that you offer. It could have been in the last 6 months, the last year, 2 years, 5 years. If you're a realtor or a builder, it could be the last 20 or 30 years. If you're a realtor and you sold someone their home 30, 40 years ago, they're not going to live in it forever. Eventually, they're going to pass it on to someone else. If you're still in business, and how long are you in business for, though you stay in contact, you have an opportunity to perhaps have a sale on the back end, just as you helped them when they acquired their home. So as Robert said before, very critical that you keep detailed records. Back in the day when I started, it was little index cards, Rolodex, you may have heard of those. But for years, since the 1990s, I've used computerized databases, what's called a CRM or an ERP. And these are software systems that help you to capture information and keep it at your fingertips. And it's amazing. You want to rate your past clients as A, B, C, and D. The A's are the ones you want more of them. You want to stay in touch with them. B, they're pretty good. You want to also stay in touch. C, not so crazy. D, you could probably better ignore, but focus on your top ones. And you want to keep really great information on those clients. Next is the retention rate. What percent of people who've done business with you in the past continue to do business with you on an ongoing basis? It could be on a subscription basis. It may be, as they say, people will buy a new home every 7 years. Are they buying from you? If you're a contractor and you work with builders, do they continue to come to you? If you're in one of the trades, do your clients always go to you, or are they always shopping? So what's the best way to make sure that you keep that retention rate high? You want to have a very clear contact policy, stay in touch, give loyalty rewards. Restaurants do that, airlines, hotels do that. And God willing, we'll be back to that again soon. Have client appreciation events. That's something that the Home Builders Association has done. And it's so important to create that um, really sense of community and belonging. And God willing, we'll be back to there very soon. Next are leads. And leads are new potential clients. There's a lot of ways to get them. Um, the key is what do you do when you get that lead? And we'll talk about some of the ways to get them. But the number one thing you can do when you get a lead is capture their key information. And it depends on the type of business you are. What's the information? It may be their name, it may be their gender, their marital status, it may be their phone number, email, it could be their Facebook page, LinkedIn page, whatever it is. But make sure 2, 3, 5 pieces of information. The only thing you need to do is capture that information. And then what you want to do is track it, because the goal is to stay in touch and to calculate the return on investment. For every lead that you have, you've invested time and money. It could have been in advertising. It could have been in going to networking events. It could be your participation in a community or organization. You're investing to generate those leads. You want to find out what's your return on investment. Next, in terms of these numbers, and we've identified these 10 key levers. This is how you grow your business, by tracking these numbers. What's your conversion rate? What's the percent of leads who become clients? The number one strategy for improving conversion rate is to have a formal sales process, have a checklist, have a workflow. Make sure that you're always consistent. Whatever your best practices are, that you do that every time. The great thing about that is it helps with something that's so critical in conversion, which is it creates trust and relationship, because you're not having to think, what's the next step? You have a path and a process to do. You have a checklist you're following. That way you can be attentive to them and their needs. Instead of thinking about what's the next thing I have to say, it's how can I help the person who's in front of me right now? The number 5 lever in your business is the average number of transactions. And that's how many items or number of services they buy from you. Now you may think, well, gee, I'm in a business where they may only do business with me once in a lifetime. Say if you're a funeral home, once every 7 to 15 years. If I'm in real estate as a builder developer, it may be every 5 years. If I'm a contractor or insurance, it may be every 3 years or once a year. I know we work with a pizza place that had a subscription model for pizza. If you can sell pizza by subscription, reimagine your business. How can you increase the frequency and the incentive for people to do more business with you? Have checklists, have surveys, as Robert talked about, of their needs, so you can serve more of their needs. And then you want to improve and increase the average dollar value of transactions. And that's how much they pay you for each transaction. The best strategy for getting the most dollars in each transaction, number 1, is to offer an array of products and services, and offer specifically 3 different levels of service: a basic, a standard, and a premium. And across industries and internationally, what we found is that 60% of the people you present to will buy the standard package. 20% will buy the basic package. 20% will buy the premium. Now you may say, well, what about the people who don't buy? That's not an option. The option is not yes or no, do business with me. Which of these will best solve your solution? That's going to increase your conversion rate. Uh, all of these tied together. And what you want is to make sure that you're packaging products and services together. And most importantly, to increase the average dollar value and your profitability, do not discount. Never, ever discount. What you want to do is add additional value. In every business, there's a feature, a service, something that you can do, or maybe from some other business that you can offer that is little or no additional cost for you, but has very high perceived value. Give them these additional bonus, these additional features, upsell, cross-sell, downsell. And if you have questions about what those are, we'll answer those later. But there's more opportunities, and you should always look for those to increase that. Then in key numbers, this is the number one strategy, which is gross profit margin. So that's for every product and service you sell, what percent of every dollar is profit? And that's after all expenses to produce, deliver, and provide the product or service. So start with your top 10 products or services or markets or types of clients. Working with one client, what we found was their number one seller, they lost money on every sale. Number two was break even. Number three was a small profit. We work with them to adjust prices, to create packages so that when they sold their number one seller as part of a package, they had other other pieces that they sold with it in a package, so it was very profitable. We recommend sometimes you want to raise prices, cut your losers. Don't think that you're going to make it up on volume by losing money on every transaction. You need to be very attuned to your margins because it's absolutely critical. Be organized. Make sure that you're maximizing the profitability from every transaction. Now, often when people talk about profitability, they go to business overhead and say, oh, we'll become more profitable by cutting overhead. Well, you want to make sure that your overhead, the fixed business overhead, is what does it cost to keep the lights on before you, whether or not you sell a single product or service. That's your fixed business overhead. But understand, you are not going to grow your business by cutting your overhead. You want to make sure that you invest every dollar in your business to maximize your profitability and your revenue. But on your fixed business overhead, you want the maximum return on investment. So I'm going to encourage everyone here in looking at the list of businesses of people who are attending. Most of you are privately owned businesses. I can tell you, having worked with thousands of small business owners and medium business owners, you are underpaid. You have employees and you have vendors that you do business with who make much more on every transaction than you do. So the number one thing on business overhead is increase your salary. And you say, well, that's crazy. Why? Well, you're going to have to work hard to earn it. And what is that? Use systems, use technology, outsource, find a company that will audit your utilities, your electricity, your internet service providers, subscriptions, etc., for technology, so that you can provide the highest level of service, but reduce costs. The great thing is many of these services that will do that will just split some of the savings with you. It won't cost you anything out of pocket. So look for how you can use your overhead more intelligently and to get a better return, but not to think that that's going to drive your profitability. Using it effectively is going to increase your profitability. And then taxes. Now people say, well, gee, why would you say that that's important? Well, taxes are one of your biggest expenses. They're a percentage of every dollar that you make, and it can go to to your local, state, federal government. And once it's paid out, 99.99% of the time it's gone. So the number one strategy I recommend that you do is hire the best CPA you can afford. I will tell you that I have never had a CPA that cost me money. Why? Every CPA I've ever used in all my years in business has always saved me more money than I invested with them in fees. So that's what you want. You want someone who's not going to just fill out your forms, but is going to give you the advice to save money on your taxes. And it is a catch-22. You want to pay more in taxes because you want to make more money, but you also want to reduce it. That's what your CPA can help you do. And then finally, it's what's the multiple? And that is what number multiple is applied to typically your sales or profits or number of clients you have, that is used to determine the market value of your business. Because ultimately, you may want to sell your business to an outside party. It may be to employees. It may be to a family member. Maximize the value, and the way to maximize that value is to systemize, to build a great organization and team, have a very clear organization chart, and really create predictable revenue streams. Next major topic is employees. Now, why are employees so important? They're probably one of the largest expenses in all of your businesses. All of our businesses are our people. So what you want to do is for every position, define very clearly what's their purpose, what are their key accountabilities, what skills do they need to have, what kind of personal attributes are critical, and who are the key relationships they'll be involved with. Write it down. Don't think it in your head. Be really clear. This is golden to go through that thought process. And then as you look at each of their accountabilities, how are you going to measure their performance? How are you going to determine that they're really doing their job well? So look at every accountability, and is it not increase sales by 10%, 20%, increased number of satisfied clients by 15%, gather 40 new leads every month, every 6 months, every year. Be very specific what their role is. If it's in as a contractor, it may be how many fireplaces do they install on a custom installation. If they're doing tract homes, how many installations do they do in a day on a tract home? If you're a plumber, for each job, and you should have ascertainable standards, are they doing it within that time or better? And if they're doing it faster than the benchmark, then you know, and the customers are satisfied, you know they're exceeding it. Every business, you want to make sure that you can measure the performance. To make sure that your employees and everybody on your team, and that means the people who are W-2 employees that you pay, as well as maybe 1099 contractors, or even your advisors. You want to make sure there's a cultural fit, that they align, that they have the same values, the same attributes and priorities that you do. Because if someone thinks it's okay to come in late and being on time is critical, that's not a fit. And in fact, 81% of all employees who fail is not because they can't do the job, but they don't fit into the company culture. So you want to make sure that their professional DNA is the same as your company DNA. It's absolutely essential. So we talked before about with your clients, you want to rate them A, B, C, and D. You want to do that with employees. So for every employee, everyone on your team, they should be rated as A, always great. You'd love to have 10, 20, 100 employees like them. B is they're really good, but that means that they probably could be, maybe they could be an A, but there's they need to develop a certain new skill, or they have to overcome some challenge. C is you can barely stand. On a good day, they're okay and you can deal with it. but there's regular challenges. And it's by regular, I mean regular. D is, and I'm from New York, and I'm going to be really blunt. D is someone who's dead to me. I don't ever want to see them again. I want them out of my company right away. We've all had those toxic employees that literally suck the life out of us and everyone on your team. And it doesn't matter how trained they are, how skilled you think they could be sabotaging your business. Have a client that we worked with for a couple of years and working very hard. We were able to eke out maybe about a 10, 18, about an 18, over 2 years, an 18% increase in their business, but it was a lot of work. They had a key employee who took a leave of absence. Well, we found out that this person was literally killing their business and sabotaging all the employees. They're a D employee. That person was not given an opportunity to come back. So what do you have to do? Create an action plan. Focus not on your D employees, focus on your A employees. They're the ones you're going to make your money. The D employees, you want to help to find jobs elsewhere. The B employees, you want to help to turn to A employees. The C, you need to really determine, do they need to transition and go somewhere else, or can they work themselves up to being a B and maybe even an A employee? And then the next one is systems and technology. And what is that? That's every business has processes. Every business has a workflow. So what you want to do is create checklists, scripts, processes, and systemize the routine. 80% of every business is very systematized, and you need to have a written and documented system. Have videos for training. That way, for the 20% of the issues that you run across that just don't fit into that 80%, your highly trained team or your highest trained individuals can solve that problem by humanizing it. It's not going to fit into a standard measure, but that's where you need to focus your time and attention on when it doesn't fit into your normal system. And then what you need to do is, by having those systems and really, really having them smooth, they will run your business and the people will run your systems. Best example is, we've all been to McDonald's. Could you imagine if every time you wanted to make French fries, you need to say, okay, what kind of potatoes am I getting? How big do they need to be? What am I using to cut them? What shape am I cutting? What size am I cutting? What kind of oil do I need? What kind of fryer? How long do they fry? When do I know they're done? How much salt do I put on them? Where do I package it? All those things. If you have to figure that out each time, you'll go nuts and it's not going to be consistent. What does McDonald's do? They have a system for everything. They have a system of where they get their potatoes. They need to meet certain criteria. They freeze them. They're already packaged. They're dumped into a fry screen basket. It drops into a timer. They push a button. When the timer's done, it pops it up. The oil has already been there, selected from selected vendors. They dump it out into these bags that are prepackaged, pre-sized, so that a high school student in an hour or two of training can do that and make their award-winning French fries every time. That's what you want in your business. You want your clients and your prospective clients to feel that they're getting your best effort each and every time. And then that puts you as the owner of the business and as the leader leading your people. What you want is to create a detailed flow chart, a schematic step-by-step with detailed operational manuals that go step-by-step. In one of my businesses, I went from 4.5 employees full-time to 1 who did a great job. We made more money with 1 employee than I did with 4.5 because we were very efficient. We followed the same rules, procedures every time. Well, that was great until she was hospitalized and out of commission for 6 weeks. So what happened? We had our operations manual, brought someone in the next day. They came in, followed that manual, and there was training built into that manual so that at the end of 1 week, Daryl was doing 80% of all the work that Sandy had been doing without me having to intervene at all, without a single question. Only 20% of his daily work did he ever have to ask me a question. That's the value of having systems and operations. You want to measure people's performance, and you want to build in continual improvement. Now I'm going to turn it over to Robert, who's going to talk about how your past clients, prospects are the gold in your business.
Thank you, Kent. Thank you very, very much, Jeff. I think that the things that we have to start to think about with all of our past customers, we need to make sure that we have a database with all the updated information of contact, whether it's selling memberships or renewing memberships for the Home Builders Association, or it's working with all of our customers. Over the years, we have tried to maintain an outstanding database with every company that we've worked with, so that we can go back and we can share with them, number one, the thanks for doing business with us, and number two, introducing them to new opportunities. They already bought us. They already understand who we are. The other thing you might say, well, if I'm in the home building side of the world, I might have built a home 10 years ago and the home has been sold. Well, those people may or may not know that they're living in one of your homes, and they're creating memories there, hopefully good memories, and they become an attribute and an asset as you get ready to open up a new community. So in essence, reconnecting with your past customers and your prospects is going to give you an added value opportunity. The other thing is, you have extended organizations, real estate brokers that might have brought you business. You need to stay in touch with them. If you paid them a commission once, they're going to respond to you with a new community or a new business opportunity because they know that they got paid, they're going to get paid again, and they want to work with you. And so all of this makes a difference in helping you grow your platform. So as we reconnect to the past customers and the prospects, we realize that they are gold. One of the amazing things that we do in the home building business, it just drives me crazy, is that as soon as we complete a community, maybe there's 100 homes and we finish that community, the first thing we do is take down the sign with the builder's name on it or the developer's name on it, because people are afraid of ongoing customer service issues. When you take care of your customers will take care of you with new sales from them, as well as the referrals that they will give you. It's very, very interesting. And so we want you to enhance and implement referral programs. And again, what type of referral programs? Well, if you're a home builder, for example, why give somebody a benefit to refer a customer to you, and that benefit is inside the home? It's better to give them landscaping benefit for the front of the home than it is anywhere else, because it ingratiates the property. Landscaping is cosmetic surgery for a home or an office building, and it gives us the opportunity to reward people from a referral standpoint, but also improve our product as a result of better landscaping. And that's just one idea. But the thing is that the referrals are given, the referral programs are created in order to benefit the folks for giving us sales that are consummated. And as a result, it makes a difference. Where can we get referrals from? Well, sure, from past customers, but the other wonderful thing about our trade association at the Northern Colorado Home Builders Association is we have events, whether they're online like this, or when we're meeting again in group to group and we can sit and talk to one another. We're meeting other people, and every time we meet one person, we're meeting 250 people. Who are those 250? They're their friends, they're satisfied customers, their relations, their future prospects that they've had some conversations with. So that network of 250 is phenomenal. If I go to a business meeting and I'm sitting at a table of 8 And I walk in there and lo and behold, I sit down at a table. If I sit down at a table with people I know, I'm losing an opportunity to a degree. Why? Because I already know those people and I'll do my best to follow up with them. But if I sit at a table with 6 people that I don't know, that's 6 times 250, which is 1,500. If there's 7 people I don't know, that's 1,750 new leads. That's an amazing opportunity. So I introduce myself. I always make sure I have ample business cards. So every time I meet somebody at a meeting, I can exchange my business card and make notes on their business card as to how I need to follow up. So we want you to think about all the people that you come into contact with that can give you business. Well, who are they? Well, of course, they're centers of influence, and they're people that we can work with right away. Real estate brokers. Well, you might say, well, I just need a residential broker. In your marketplace, you have a lot of commercial brokers as well. These commercial brokers are visiting and seeing people who come into the marketplace or make decisions to move within the marketplace before anybody else knows. So the more that you stay in touch with these people, it's going to make a difference. You can also go to the county records and find who is buying and selling real estate, who is interested. Utility companies need to know about companies coming in, and the chambers of commerce and economic development councils and boards of real estate brokers, along with the Northern Colorado HBA, are wonderful influence peddlers, that can provide you with information about new companies coming in. Every time a new member joins the Northern Colorado Home Builders Association, they have employees that need to buy real estate. They have employees who need the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. So it gives you the opportunity to reach out to these people and welcome them. Outstanding author by the name of Jack Gale wrote a wonderful book called 30 Keys to Success in Real Estate that can be adapted very simple. Who can give us leads? Attorneys, automobile salespeople, bankers, bartenders, beauticians, builders, chambers of commerce officials, civic club officials, college administrators, brokers specializing in commercial real estate, as we said. It's a very key point because we don't use them well enough. Developers, doctors, insurance salespeople, ministers, priests, rabbis, moving company personnel, personnel directors, school principals and their secretaries, welcome wagon hostesses, and many, many more. But we can create these opportunities of influence by reaching out. Every time we meet someone, we're meeting 250 new leads. And we have to ask for these leads, and we have to always ask for the order. If you don't ask, you don't get. It's very simple. And so with that, we move along to another opportunity where Jeff is going to share some additional information about taking all of this information and building it into strategic alliances.
Thank you so much, Robert. Strategic alliances are probably one of the most valuable tools for each and every one of you. And that's whether for the trade association or for your own business. And what a strategic alliance is, it's an arrangement where 2 or more companies make an agreement to work collaboratively on a project. And while they maintain their separate companies, and they're independent, they work collaboratively and share in the benefits, the revenues, and the relationship with the client. So while it's not a merger, it is a great way to grow your business. We see that very often in home building, where a developer may create that strategic alliance with a lender, and they have a preferred lender, and they're able to offer right on site much faster and often better terms. They may be able to offer additional incentives. What are the opportunities for you to work collaboratively? If you're a home builder, that means you can sell your home faster. If you're a lender, that means that you have a built-in pool of buyers to work with. It doesn't matter what kind of business you're in, you can create those relationships. Let me give you probably one of my favorite examples. It's big in the news, but it applies to everyone. Apple had come back from near bankruptcy right around 2000, and in 2012 they announced the first iPhone. It's hard to believe, but I believe it was 2012. And their challenge was they had this great new piece of technology, but they didn't have a whole wireless phone network. So they needed to make an arrangement. So they talked to all the big carriers. Now, AT&T at the time was nearly bankrupt. They were in deep trouble. So they were willing to make Apple the best offer. And they got, I think, a 2 or 3 year exclusive with Apple, that they were the only ones to sell the iPhone. And what happened was Apple just sold the iPhone, but if you wanted to use the iPhone, you had to go to AT&T. AT&T sold all their other phones, but if you wanted to use an iPhone, you needed to be on AT&T. That's why I moved over to AT&T. What did that mean? To fast forward 8 years later to today, Apple is now, by market capitalization, the #1 company, the largest company in the world in the S&P 500. AT&T, which was almost bankrupt, is now the #26 company on the S&P 500. So are strategic alliances important? The largest companies in America get more than 30% of their revenue from strategic alliances, and they expect 50% of their growth in revenue to come from that. I suggest to every small and medium business owner, take a page from the big boys and use the relationships that you develop from the Northern Colorado Home Builders Association and create those strategic alliances to grow both your businesses. It will pay dividends for all of you. And the last and final point is, take what we shared with you today and use them to engineer success. So the first thing you want to do is monitor each of these strategies that we shared with you, to evaluate on a monthly, a quarterly, or at the very least annual basis. Do a self audit, an internal audit. How am I doing on this? I really suggest you do it once a month. Take a couple of hours and say, how are we doing in each of these? What do we need to revamp? How can we improve it? What do we need to do more of? And then what do we need to start over with from the beginning? Do we need to take a whole different strategy? Maybe this idea of getting referrals by giving out gift baskets, that is a very poor ROI. What's another strategy? Maybe this strategic alliance didn't work. What's a better strategic alliance? This product that we thought was going to be a great product for us isn't really profitable. What do we want to do? You need to be willing to restart. Don't keep doing, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. What we shared with you are the 10 best strategies that we have identified in our careers that we use regularly in our business, we use with all our clients, and we suggest that you use in your businesses and in your association. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Dan. Robert and I are here for you to answer any questions, whether it be in chat or if you raise your hand, we'd be happy to answer any question.
Sorry, I had myself on mute there. So, unbelievable amount of information. I have a couple questions for you. Not sure if anybody else has any yet. I'll kind of watch for that here in the next couple minutes. But my first question is, you guys brought it up a couple times about surveys. Do you guys have any specific survey methods that seem to work better for you guys or for most businesses?
I think that I would share with you, it's a great question, and I would suggest that the surveys be very short. Maybe they're 3 to 5 questions. They're usually yes, no, or multiple choice. To ask somebody to elaborate with information with a lengthy series of paragraphs is typically going to be avoided. So the real key thing is that if you are looking for a written explanation, usually have it after or at the end of the 3 or 5 questions. And you might have what additional comments can you share with us to enhance our business platform or to enhance our business to make the experience better for you. You want to be positive, and when you're directing those questions, you want to make sure that you're getting simplistic information. And again, I found that oftentimes multiple choice is better because you can direct the people. A yes or a no really doesn't give you the quantitative and qualitative information that you really need to make a better decision. So as we were discussing earlier, that good, better, best consideration, it helps you get a better sense. And Jeff, you might have some comments for Dan.
Right. A tool that we've used has been like SurveyMonkey. Sometimes you may want to just send out a question by email, sometimes by phone, sometimes by mail. What we encourage every business we work with is experiment and see where you get the best results. And it may be that you may use multiple methods, because if you have different types of clients or maybe just different individuals respond differently. One of the things is we like to give somebody an incentive to respond, but it's not like I could care less about the fill out the survey and get a chance for a $500 Amazon card. That does not incentivize me, but it's fill out the survey and get this free report, or we'll give you the results, which may help you in your business. Find something that your clients would want to know. So if you're dealing with builders, say, hey, fill this out and we'll give you our white paper on the most advanced plumbing technology that builders are using to save on construction costs, on energy costs, on repairs. So give them an incentive like that to respond that you would respond to. That I hope that helps.
Yeah, that does help. So one thing I should probably point out, I didn't point this out for all of the folks listening. Please, if you hit the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen and you can type in a question there, that would be good. If you've got any, hopefully you do. And then I'll read those if we get some popping up.
There was one question Dan, I saw from Eric Crawford, which is that what he shared, and that the building industry very often falls down low on the end of technology adaptation and implementation. So really, my suggestion is don't be average, and use technology not to be trendy, but to improve the ability to run your business profitably and productively, and to deliver the best client experience for your clients.
Okay. Hopefully that answers that one. One of the things, Jeff, that you pointed out earlier that I noted is the don't discount ever. We all get hooked on the 10% off or the 20% discount here or whatever. So I don't know if you can tell us a little. I mean, you went through that pretty well, but
I'll share with you exactly why. Because very often people say, well, a 10% discount is just like, I still get 90%. No, that 10% is coming out of your profit. And if you only had a net 10% profit margin, you now have a 0 profit. If you had a 20% profit margin, then you only have half of the profit that you had before. So what you want to do is offer bonuses, additional value, an extra service that is low cost to you, but high perceived value. And by discounting, you get into you train them to think that price is important as opposed to value. And I saw Robert had something he wanted to answer as well.
Yeah, the other thing, when you offer discounts, how do you think those discounts make your customers that you just sold previously to that new discount program? Most of them will never pick up the phone and call you or contact you and ask you for that extra 20%. What we found over the years, there's nothing more important with regard to pricing than parity. We never discount. I mean, as I shared with you, I grew up in a family business that was founded in 1891 that lasted until 1985. My in-laws were in the glass fabrication plant business. They took glass and they fabricated it for different things. And all the years that they were in business, also never discounted. My father-in-law were both graduated from the same university that Jeff was graduated from, the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania. And even before that, they learned about pricing growing up in their family businesses. But what happens is that there's also, Dan, there's no such thing as a confidentiality statement when it comes to pricing. I'm going to give you a better deal. And as a result, I want you to keep this between us. Dan, it doesn't happen. Somebody's going to slip somewhere along the line and it can tarnish a business. The other thing about pricing that's really important, I've had people say to me, well, look, I'm here and I'm going to give you a lot of referrals. I'm wonderful. And I want you to give me a better deal. Well, at the end of the day, I've often said, and I've trained our salespeople with this, and this will help you and all of our listeners. So let me understand, you'll buy the product today if I give you this additional discount that you've just asked for. Oh, you bet, I'll do that. And I would say, Dan, that's great. I want to do business with you. But I have a question for you. How would you feel if tomorrow Jeff came to the table and said, I'll buy your product if you give it to me for another 20% less than you gave it to Dan? How would Dan feel? Dan wouldn't feel so good.
Not
Dan,
good.
all the credibility, all that work that I created to get you to have you become a prospect and then to have you become a customer, I've just thrown out the door because my credibility was completely shot. Those of you who are listening, I mean, this is true. What I'm going to tell you is true. In 42 years of doing business in Colorado in the real estate business, and almost 50 years in the industry, I have never given anyone a discount on any product that I've ever sold. If a seller decided that they wanted to do it, I would counsel against it, but physically, none of our employees, none of our team members, whether we're selling an appliance or we're selling real estate, or we're selling insulation, we never discount for all those reasons that I shared with you. And the other thing is, it creates a convincement with the customer, because the customer, the old adage too, is that if I sold you a product with a discount and I gave you that 10% discount right away that you wanted in order to close the deal, as a buyer, what I'm also going to say to myself later on, I should have asked for more money off. If Dan gave me that discount that quickly in order to cement the deal, how much money did I leave on the table by not asking for that additional discount? I know we're covering a lot of points with pricing, because at the end of the day, Dan, pricing ain't the reason that I'm buying your company. I'm buying your company because of the unique selling propositions. I'm buying it because of your outstanding service. I'm buying it because of the products that you've selected to offer me, for my use in my company or my home. I'm buying you because I know you're going to be there to service the product. I know that your installation teams are clean, and in a COVID environment, I want the healthiest people. You test your employees every day. You make sure that they're fit and healthy. All of these things add up to the value proposition of why I want to work with you and your team.
Right.
To give you an idea, a client in the fireplace industry, um, they were discounting, and as we looked at the impact on their numbers, they said, okay, we won't do that anymore. Well, what do we do? Say, you can either sell it at full price, or if you really feel you need to offer incentive, offer a free blower. That would be valued at $300 to $500, depending upon the installation. Um, it cost them $25, and to install that blower is maybe 10 extra minutes, maybe at the time of installation. So for very small actual cost, maybe $50, they're giving $500 of value.
Hmm.
And the the price for their main product is not being discounted. They're
Makes
maintaining
sense.
that margin. Does that make sense?
It does. I was thinking about the twice a year mattress sales. Uh, and to be honest, I think about those, and what I think is, if they're offering it to me twice a year at 25 or 50% off, what kind of margins are they making the rest of the year?
Why am I getting ripped off any other time?
Yes. So
Exactly.
anyway, interesting things. So not that this is a question, but it's something that I realized as you guys were talking. When you're talking about the referral programs and enhancing those, we have for our service department, we've advertised with the welcome wagon.
Mm-hmm.
And every month I get the people that moved into the area, the new movers that have moved in. And to be honest, I never really considered I should send each one of those a little card or a little note saying, hey, we're here. If you need us, let us know. So
That magnetic piece that you put on the refrigerator, it's like a magnetic business card, or before you enter from the garage into the home, you have another sticky that goes on that area so that their eye contact is there. And in your business, when something goes wrong, there's plumbing that's stopped up, or someone needs new water closets, lavatories, or someone needs a better device. For example, out of COVID-19, one of the most popular advancements into our home are bidets.
yes.
You know, and most people don't know, Dan, do you know where how the powder room was eventually designed into the home?
Yes, I'm not certain of that.
The Spanish flu. As a result, 100 years ago, when people would come to the home as they are today with packages and services, these people would conceivably need to use a restroom. And it got to the point that architects started designing powder rooms in the front of the homes so that the workmen or the service women could come in, use the facilities without affecting the rest of the home. So in essence, we're seeing more bidets sold in the United States than almost any other time in the history of the country.
Absolutely.
It's so popular in Europe and other countries as well.
And to answer your question again, in terms of like with the welcome wagon, what we've worked with HVAC companies and plumbing companies as well, but an example with an HVAC company of, again, you bought your home, you had an inspection. We can do an in-depth inspection of your plumbing system, your water quality, whatever, at a small cost. What that does is you're not looking at that as an expense for you. You're looking at that as an investment in marketing, because as Robert said, one, you may uncover work that they need now or they will need, and then you can put your magnet and your labels in different places so you're there. So basically, they are paying you to market to them. And that is I didn't, we've never shared that, but that's one of my favorite techniques, Robert, is to get paid to market to someone.
Interesting. I don't see any other questions at this point. So
Okay.
hopefully the folks that are on, type some questions in, send us a chat, do something. Let us know if you've got other thoughts or questions. So,
Okay, great.
so I'm not sure if I'm supposed to bring this up or not. I know you guys are going to make sure we have your action plan after this.
Yes. Dulcie will be sending that out to everyone who attended. And what I encourage you to do is to take the time, look at your notes, or go through your thoughts. This webinar will be posted this week on your website, so that if people want to review it again, and come up with, for each of these topics, the 3 best ideas, and then go through all of that and say, what are the 3 that I'm going to work on implementing in the next 6 weeks? And just that action, if it doesn't improve your business by at least 10%, call me and we'll figure out why it didn't work and we'll make it work. That's my guarantee to everybody here. And Robert and I, you see our information here. We also have our contact information in the action plan. Please email us or call us if you have any questions and we can be of any help. Again, on behalf of Robert, want to thank you, Dan, Nikki, Dulcie. Thank you so much for your help and the opportunity to help other businesses grow. That's what we're about. And that's why we make this program available to HBAs around the country, because we feel we have to give back to an organization that's helped so much to us and it's so important to the country. Robert, any closing comments?
Yeah, I would appreciate if anyone has any additional questions, that they email, or call us. And also, when you like the program, if you can also send us referrals for other associations you think that would appreciate it, and also third-party testimonials, so that we can promote you for liking what we were able to accomplish. And it adds value to you. It certainly adds a lot of value to us. So Dan, we appreciate the opportunity to get to know you and Dulcie, and get to work with you and Dulcie and Nikki and all the participants today. And we look forward to wonderful results as a result of what we were able to all accomplish together today. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you both. I know I appreciate it. I've learned a lot today, and I'm looking forward to challenging myself to, like you said, here's my 3 plans of action and see what we can do. So I really appreciate it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great rest of the day and a fabulous week.
Thank you.
Be well, be